Now that your transactions are in QuickBooks, let's take a quick look at the check register. The check marks indicate that those transactions have been cleared in the system, and it looks like the June or July have not yet been reconciled. Like the other processes, you can access the screen from the flowchart or the drop-down menu under Banking. Once you have the Reconcile screen for the proper account pulled up and the month-end bank statement, it's time to do the most important process, the bank reconciliation. This process is the verifying or matching up of your cash transactions accounted for in your system or QuickBooks and your bank system. The reconciliation is mechanical, designed to catch and resolve errors by either you or your bank. This process is the same whether you are reconciling a credit card account, a loan, or a line of credit. Always start with the date verification and the beginning balances, making sure they match up. Enter the ending balance per the bank statement. Any bank charges or interest income, or in the case of a loan or line of credit, there would be interest expense. Continue to the next screen to check off all the transactions that match between the bank statement and the QuickBooks screen. Getting down to the ones that don't. When all the transactions match up, the difference field will show 0, and the Reconcile Now button can be clicked to finish the process. Always print both reports either to a hard copy or to a PDF file with a backup system in place. If your computer crashes or you have system problems, the hard copy reports will be valuable to help resolve figures that may have been lost.
That was easy.
Now, let's do it again. But this time with a discrepancy. When this happens, the resolution can be challenging. The first step is to determine who made the mistake. Did the bank clear a check or deposit for the wrong amount? Or was it an input error in QuickBooks? A nice feature is the ability to double-click a transaction to get to the original input to make a change. As we researched the situation and looked at the original bill, we find the check was handwritten away from the office for $134.40. But when inputted into QuickBooks, it looks as if the number was transposed in error. Any cash transaction that has not yet been reconciled can be easily changed. As we correct the transaction in QuickBooks, it now matches the bank statement. Using the pre-printed checks and deposit slips save time and hassle because these are system generated and generally flow through the banking system without errors. Occasionally, a bank will clear a check or a deposit for an incorrect amount, but usually the errors are from inputting a transaction with the wrong amount that was a hand-prepared check or deposit slip into QuickBooks. Again, once the difference field shows 0, the reconciliation can be completed. Now you can look at your check register and have a level of confidence that the balance in the account is correct, noting the check marks next to the cleared transactions. It should be noted, once a transaction is marked cleared by the software, any changes to that transaction, such as changing the amount or deleting the transaction, causes trouble, and many don't realize it until the next month's reconciliation, when the beginning balance field has changed and now does not match up to the bank statement. Resolving these types of issues waste time, aren't easy to resolve, and cause frustration. Newer versions of QuickBooks do pop up a warning and do provide options to undo a previous reconciliation. When you do find the bank has made an error, the first thing is to contact the bank to communicate the error. We suggest creating a log file, noting the situation, date, contact of the bank, and other details, so in case it's not quickly resolved, you have good records and details to stay at it until it is. We find these types of errors quite often from unscrupulous banks or credit card processors, in the form of incorrect or so-called accidental fees charged to your account, which is another reason this reconciliation process is valuable. There are a variety of ways to handle it in QuickBooks. One way is to adjust the cash account in the amount of the error with a fictitious check, deposit, or an adjusting journal entry if you understand the debits and credits. Post the transaction to a temporary, or what we call a suspense account, discussed more in the last section. By doing this, you can finalize the bank rec and move forward until the item is resolved. Once the bank has adjusted or corrected your account, you then readjust your QuickBooks in the same amount, again through a fictitious check, deposit, or adjusting journal entry, posting to the temporary or suspense account. When the next bank statement arrives, showing the documented correction or adjustment from the bank, you can now reconcile those transactions and be done.